The Lord of the Rings adventure book game. This is your review for 2. Good day, my name is Joe Gerba. Today I'll be going over Lord of the Rings adventure book game and how it plays with 2 players. Now this game is a 1 to 4 player game where you'll be moving some figures on your turn, working alongside you and your companions or solo, going through these different maps, these different adventures as you follow the Lord of the Rings. So let's see a little bit more how to play. So in Lord of the Rings adventure book game, there's 8 adventures that come in this, and you're going to play them through sequentially. Each one of them has their own setup where you're going to set up the mini figures and the tokens on the board and have certain chapter rules that you're going to follow, all while keeping in mind some of the challenges you need to complete. So on your turn, you're gonna take turns with your compatriots, and you're going to get to move a character 1 or 2 spaces, or move 2 characters 1 space, and then you get into the special action turn where you can discard some cards to move extra, do the One Ring ability to do the ability of kind of the chapter. Can you complete a challenge? You may have to discard cards to complete a challenge, and then you're going to draw 2 extra cards. You're going to flip over this plot deck, and it'll tell you what's going to happen, what are the enemies going to do, what's going to change in the board state, kind of give you some urgency to keep on going. And then you'll discard down to 6, and it's the other player's turn. And you'll keep going back and forth, trying to complete these challenges, and maybe by the end there's a you must complete the previous challenges and do a certain thing and you win the game. So that's kind of the game. You'll be going through 8 of those, and hopefully by the end, your corruption, doesn't reach the end and you've won. So let's see a little bit more what I thought about the game. So let's talk about the components. The components are nice in this game. The main cool thing is this adventure book. You don't have to lay out any tiles. It's thematic. It's got the setup, the rules, the challenges on what you actually need to do to complete it, all on these open pages, which I think is awesome. Comes with cards. We sleeved ours because I read there's maybe a decent amount of shuffling with the previous adventure book games, and I'm kind of glad we did. The rules, easy to get through, but man, this reference sheet, this is awesome. You just go down this thing, see what you can do, then it's the next player's turn. And that's really what's nice about this game, is it's just the ease to get to the table. So speaking of setup is very easy to get to the table. You open the book to where you left off. You put the corruption on where you left off. Put the figures and the tokens where it is in setup, and you're just about ready to go. The table size, you can kind of see I wanted to do something different today because this is actually where we're playing the game. We are playing it here. We're playing it on the floor. This table has to be maybe a 2x3 maximum. It's just our coffee table, but it's nice to play in somewhere else. And it's nice that this game can travel in a small, compact size like this. So I really enjoy that too about this game, where it feels like, a fully fleshed out game, but doesn't take up as much table size as some of our larger ones. So let's talk about the gameplay. In a box like this, I didn't play the 2 previous adventure book games. My wife and I really like the Lord of the Rings, kind of, anything surrounding that. And I will say the gameplay is thematic, and it's also, there's a decent amount of choice. Who do I want to move where? Do I want to split my movement? Do I want to move one person 2? And it comes to the heavy choice of, well, do I discard cards? Do we need these cards for later? The cards are a resource, and all these different resources. The rings are wild, but when you play a ring, you move up on the corruption. It may also give you, a big ability for the scenario. And it's just a lot of fun on that part. It may not be the most in-depth game. It may not be the most, brain-burning, challenging game, but there still is a lot of choice, and that's what makes this game good. Is not every game needs to be a brain burner, but as long as there's choice, it can be a fun game. We've had a really good time so far. Everything's so thematic. We just watched the movies 6 months ago or so, and it just follows it super well, super nice. It's a lot of fun working with the other person, trading cards when you need to complete challenges and you don't have the prerequisites. There's a lot going on in this game, but it's not the biggest brain burner game, but it's thematic, it's fun, and I don't have too much bad to say about this game. So in the end, is this game good for two? And I really do enjoy this game for two. It's a nice, simple to set up, easy to get to the table game. Plays in about 20 minutes per scenario. You could play this in an evening. You could play it, a couple scenarios a day, play it over a weekend. And that's what's neat about this game is the only save state is there's a couple cards you keep at the end of some scenarios, and you got to keep track of this ring counter. Other than that, easy to pack up, easy to get back to the table. I wouldn't say there's the most cooperation, but when you have to complete some of these challenges, there is a lot of, trading some cards, figuring out, well, what can we do? What numbers have kind of come up in this chapter deck, what may come up in the future, which can affect, how the minions move, how the board state changes. But overall, for a two-player light experience, this is the game. This isn't going to be the brain burner. This isn't going to be the pinnacle of the evenings. And it's not going to be your 3 hour unless you play all 8 scenarios in one night. Huge game. But man, this game is a lot of fun. Have not played this game at 3 and 4. I played a few scenarios solo. I did enjoy that. You kind of have like a little dummy hand to try to trade with. But with 2 players, this is just a nice, light game. So if you like Lord of the Rings kind of atmosphere, or if you like Wizard of Oz, I think Wizard of Oz is one of the previous adventure book games. Like I said, it's not going to be your Feast of Odin's, your War of the Rings, your Ark Novas, but that doesn't mean this doesn't deserve its place in the collection. Replayability, I don't know is going to be the highest, but it's nice that you can get this off the shelf and it can be a one and done without feeling, it's a campaign style, but small campaign style, where you can finish this in 3 hours, where a game of Kingdom Death, well, that may take you 2 hours just to do one of 25 campaigns. So if you want a nice streamlined campaign, intro to board gaming, Lord of the Rings style theme, this is a fantastic game for 2. So that's all I have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the review, and until next time.